All right, this is video documentation. That's the light source right there, and I want you to pay attention to what is the maintenance of the entity's light activity, even when it's supposed to appear as a cloudy day. That is, I'm not going to mince words. Okay, so that's Satan that's trying to hide its hand, but still engaging in the same exact impossible light activity. Where it's impossible, it's even more impossible when it's supposedly a cloudy day. There's no concentrated light that's going to pierce through closed blinds. That's going to reach underneath doorway. If it's cloudy, then you're talking about what is that impossible maintenance of that light source, and this is what the entity is engaging in. Just doesn't want video documentation of me specifically speaking about. Compare what's going on Hope Boulevard from the beginning of it and the end of the day at this same exact time even, and look at what they're doing in LA. That's what Satan is trying to avoid, okay? That's why this is covered up. You're gonna reference the documentation while I'm inside of this laundry room at 4:08 p.m. on Saturday. You're going to reference 4:18 p.m. on Saturday, and engineered light is inside of this venue. So this is a group stalker who was look at the impossible light inside of that laundry room. That's a demon. There's no sunlight that's going to be in there. You saw the sunlight that was the engineered light that's on the wall inside of the laundry room at 4:18 p.m. This is group stalking in the path, and the entity is maintaining the light source, and the same exact impossible light remains while you're trying to cover up the light source. So I want to be clear. You're going to reference 4:18 p.m. is what I just captured on Saturday. The entity is maintaining the light source at that venue. The entity is engaging in the maintenance of the light source from the beginning to the end of the day, and is seeking to avoid, while the same exact demonic behavioral pattern is underway, those who are going to lose custody of their children while they are on camera, admitting to including them in a sex offense and in ongoing terrorism. That is the Abundance family. Third-party group stalkers practicing satanic conduct and including children in them under the light source and in directed light. Monitoring me right now, okay? This is P.O.C, and that's also grounds of federal prison when they want to include that while LAPD flies in the sky space, okay? So let me find that, and she'll be going to federal prison in addition to losing custody of her children, all right? This is the entity that's maintaining the light source. It's right here. She is engaged in the pattern of conduct. Engineered light remains. The entity wants to avoid you looking at videos next side by side while I'm reminding you about what the entity was doing on Omnitrans Route 87 going northbound. That is street for street, turn for turn. Route 61 goes east and west. I'm going west on Hope Boulevard in Ontario in the afternoon after the entity was rising that light source. Okay, and then I get on to go on Euclid Avenue, which runs north and south. The entity was maintaining that light source as I then go in another direction that is going north on Route 87. And the light source is remaining street for street, turn for turn, in stride with me through the window of that bus. And let me be clear, while I captured it on February 4th, 2022, that was capturing the phenomenon. You only have to capture it once. Okay, the entity is maintaining the light source here. That's how I'm able to capture it, right, setting in alignment to me through my bedroom window, and impossible light through the magnification of light on the bedroom walls. And this is where LAPD is stalking with the people. All right, and that's going for the prosecution of Abundance. She's going to federal prison. They're group stalking in the parking lot. If that's what you like, that's exactly what you'll get. They are aware of every word that's being uttered, and they engage in the criminal conduct to its own demise. Abundance is losing custody of her children, and she's monitoring with the LAPD, who is communicating a threat to the targeted individual. That's amplified audible activity. She's going to federal prison. Right, she's 1804 number 2. This is group stalking in the laundry room, where there will be no sunlight inside of there. Understand that? Where the entity is maintaining the light source. Abundance, that's Ryan and Clarissa Abundance, and monitoring with children with LAPD. Okay, I will remind you about their social security numbers, their addresses, the names of those children. They're losing custody of them. They are communicating a threat, threatening the life of a target individual who is also documenting it. This is a demon-possessed entity that acts boldly, but it's not bold, it's foolish. Okay? This is the documentation that I'm going to play in court, and she's losing custody of her kids. The federal government is going to decisively act on and swiftly act on the people of the state who like to engage in monitoring, which is a sex offense and terrorism committed by a government, and they like to include children in that act of terrorism and in that sex offense. And they like to threaten your life in your face. They think that they can do that in your face. And this is a correction to that. No, you will not. And you will not in the name of the government, and you certainly will not in keep custody of your children as you include them in that P.O.C. Okay, so this is video evidence, and Ryan Abundance, I just want to be clear, while they're monitoring me, they are showing the world that they don't care about even maintaining custody of their children, because these demons are monitoring and they know exactly what I'm saying as I say it, and their engagement in it on video is not suggesting that they don't know. These are demons that are stalking with activity. The entity is maintaining a specific environment. They are approached with what is being exposed, and then they continue the P.O.C. to their own demise. They know exactly what's being said. That's a fool that's losing custody of their children. That's a fool. That's what that is. It is currently 4:10 p.m. This is P.O.C. during daylight savings time. I'm referencing February 4th, 2022. You already know that the light source is here, and you can even see the light source here. This is equally rich documentation, equally probative documentation, equally relevant documentation. You're witnessing the demonic. That's the whole point also. Not only prosecution, but education. This is the light source, the same one, covered up in under clouds. You're seeing what is impossible light activity. There's no sun through the window of Route 87 on Euclid Avenue in Ontario, California, remaining in stride with me. That's the light source that was present, and this is the light source that's here now, and I'm going to use that phenomenon to prosecute, and Abundance will be losing custody of their children. The people of the state will not, under any circumstances, boldly threaten the life of an American citizen. That's exactly what I'm advocating against. They will not get away with that, because that's what they do. They'll summon the entity, the police, the demons that are flying helicopters and stalking you. They'll summon them on you. They will defame you while they're monitoring you, while they're sexually offending and violating you. Weirdo stalkers in bathrooms, okay? And then making up information because they're hostile. So you want to walk out a relevant position on video to your own demise, you will surely lose custody of your children. That's an abusive and harmful environment that they're keeping them in. They're engaging in the contribution to the delinquency of minors, while the police, these corrupt police departments, are monitoring and group stalking through the creation of activity via those children. All right, and you're understanding the substance of what the demon possessed are doing while they're engaging in a sex offense, molesting you. You're including children in that. You're going to analyze it the same way. You want to do that, then you're going to lose children, just like you would if you bring your children to a gunfight, you bring your children to a bank robbery, you bring your children to any other sexually violent occasion. You're a weirdo, and you're going to lose custody of them. All right, it's 4:12 p.m. Let me read you their license plate as well. All their documentation is published online, but since they're crossing path, I'm going to go ahead and document them now. And they're crossing path under the light source. This is P.O.C. License plate 9EMB626. This is P.O.C. and that's also capturing the impunity and malice of the third parties that are Abundance, that routinely engage in on video documentation, using their children, just like Tiffany Sherez, just like Precious Bastillos. Okay. Again, it is 4:12 p.m. This is P.O.C.